Is NIO Stock oversold? Well, NIO Stock is trading at 444 today, and it is down over 92% from its all-time high set in late 2021. And for reference, RIVN is also down about 92%, Tesla's down 41, BYD is down 20, Lucid is down 95, Li Auto is down 20, and Xpeng is down 80%. So in terms of Chinese manufacturers, the average drop looks like is around 40% compared to NIO's 92% fall, and that's mostly because Xpeng was a bit of an outlier as well. And it's interesting that BYD and Li Auto managed to mostly shake off the worst of the downward pressure. But digging a little deeper, in 2023, BYD sold 3 million cars at a 60% annual growth rate. Li Auto sold 376,000 at 182% growth. Xpeng sold 141,000 at 17%, and NIO sold 160,000 cars at a 30% growth rate. So in terms of publicly traded Chinese EV manufacturers, NIO has the second lowest amount of cars delivered, with the second lowest growth rate, falling second to only Xpeng in both categories, which means that Xpeng's worse off in both regards. But it's interesting because Xpeng's stock didn't fall as much as NIO's, falling just 80% compared to NIO's 92. Now they're pretty close when you compare BYD's and Li Auto's falls at 20. So Xpeng and NIO definitely had the worst of it, but NIO was a little worse, even though NIO fell more, even though Xpeng did slightly worse in terms of lower deliveries for that year and lower growth rate overall. So that does help support the case that NIO may be oversold. And going forward, NIO is forecasted to grow earnings by 48%, BYD's at 14%, and Li Auto at 22%, and Xpeng at 61%, which means that NIO is expected to grow at a rate of 1.3 times higher than the comparable company average. So it has that going for it, and that's an indication that it might be oversold as well. And the high growth rate for NIO is probably just because they have lower deliveries currently, like especially compared to BYD at 3 million. So that means they have that room for growth going forward. And they also have their 2 new sub-brands coming out, which will help sell more cars. And another thing to consider is not just the growth rates, but the valuations. Li Auto's price to sales right now is 1.82, BYD's is 0.9, Xpeng's at 2.48, and NIO's price to sales ratio current TTM is 1.24, which again means that the average Chinese manufacturer valuation is 1.3 times higher than NIO's. So, considering all those numbers, it appears that NIO might be oversold just because their stock fell so much lower than average. They have a higher projected growth rate at, again, 1.3 times higher going forward when compared to the average. And the average Chinese EV manufacturer has a price to earnings ratio 1.3 times higher than NIO, which are all signs that NIO might be oversold. So thank you for watching. Drop a like if you made it this far. Please subscribe, and I will see you next video.